Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another tape in my subliminal series. Let me tell you something. There's no such thing as shortcuts in life. People want easy answers, quick fixes. They want to get to the top without breaking a sweat. But here's the truth. The only shortcut in this world is hard work. There are no shortcuts to success, no easy path to greatness. You want to be at the top? Then prepare to put in the hours. You've got to grind when no one's watching. You've got to push yourself even when your body is screaming at you to quit. Success doesn't come to those who wait or look for the easy way out. It comes to those who are relentless, who wake up every single day with the mentality that they are going to outwork everyone else in the room, who are willing to make the sacrifices that others won't. Most people will tell you it's impossible. But the truth is, the impossible becomes possible when you commit to hard work. So stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for opportunities to fall into your lap. Get to work every day, relentlessly. Because at the end of the day, the only shortcut is the hard work you put in. Hard work is the only true shortcut to success. This is a concept that people often overlook in today's world, where shortcuts, hacks, and quick fixes are constantly being marketed as the way to reach the top. Everywhere you look is someone promising an easier way, a faster route, or a shortcut to wealth, fame, or success. But if you look closer at the most successful people in any field, you'll see one glaring thing they all have in common. They didn't take shortcuts. They didn't find an easy way out. They worked relentlessly. The truth is simple, yet hard for many to accept. There are no shortcuts. If you want success, you must be willing to put in the work. The idea of a shortcut is appealing because it promises a faster way to the destination without all the struggles along the way. People are constantly looking for a way to skip the steps, bypass the challenges, and avoid the grind. The problem with this mindset is that it doesn't acknowledge the value of the process. The journey, the hard work, the sacrifices, the failures, and the persistence is where real growth happens. It's easy to look at someone who's achieved great success and think they got there by sheer luck or by taking an easy route. But that's almost never the case. Behind every successful individual, there are countless hours of hard work, sweat, and discipline that you don't see. The most successful people aren't the ones who take shortcuts. They're the ones who embrace the grind and understand that hard work is the real shortcut. When we talk about hard work being the only shortcut, we're not just talking about putting in time. It's about putting in focused, deliberate, and consistent effort. Anyone can waste hours in front of a screen or work for the sake of working. But the people who truly succeed are the ones who can stay laser focused on their goals, work with purpose, and keep their eyes on the bigger picture. They don't get distracted by what everyone else is doing. They stay committed to their own path, no matter how difficult it gets. They understand that the obstacles they face are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth. The only way to push through them is to keep working, keep moving forward, and never stop. We live in a world where instant gratification is encouraged. We can get anything at the click of a button, from food to entertainment to even social media validation. This culture of convenience has conditioned many people to expect the same fast results in their personal and professional lives. The problem is that success doesn't come with the push of a button. It's not a transaction, it's a journey. Real success requires time, effort, and persistence. There is no buy now, pay later option. If you want to build something lasting, you have to earn it with your hard work. The misconception that there are shortcuts often leads people to look for quick fixes instead of building the skills and knowledge necessary for long-term success. You'll see people trying to take advantage of the latest trend or shortcut to success, but when those quick fixes don't work, they give up. They don't understand that true success isn't built on trends or hacks. It's built on consistency and sustained effort over time. It's easy to give up when the road gets tough, but those who push through, those who stay committed and keep working, are the ones who end up ahead in the long run. The truth is, the work that's put in when no one's looking is what separates the winners from the losers. It's about doing what needs to be done every single day, even when it seems pointless, even when it seems like no progress is being made, because success isn't immediate. It's built step by step, brick by brick, through consistent effort and continual improvement. It's about showing up every day and doing the work even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard. That's how you create momentum. That's how you set yourself up for the big breakthroughs. When you look at the people who have achieved extraordinary things, you'll see that their success didn't happen overnight. They worked for years, sometimes decades, honing their craft, failing, learning from their mistakes, and constantly improving. Success is not a quick fix. It's a series of small, intentional steps forward. The more effort you put into each step, the faster you will get to your destination. But that doesn't mean skipping any steps. Skipping the process will only lead to a fragile foundation that won't support long-term success. The idea of hard work as the only shortcut is liberating. It takes the pressure off the need for instant results and shifts the focus to what really matters, doing the work. If you can embrace this mindset and commit to putting in the effort day in and day out, you'll find that success comes naturally. It won't be because you took some shortcut, but because you built it from the ground up, step by step, through your own relentless effort. And in the end, there is no better feeling than knowing that you achieved everything through your own hard work. There are no easy paths to greatness. People often look at successful individuals and assume they found an easy route to the top. They look for shortcuts, for some magic formula that will catapult them into success without the struggle, the sacrifice, or the grind. But the reality is harsh. Greatness doesn't come easily. It's earned. It's built through perseverance, relentless effort, and overcoming obstacles. The people who have reached the highest levels in any field didn't do so by following an easy path. They did it by enduring hardship, facing failure, and continuing when others would have quit. The truth is simple. Greatness requires hard work, and there are no shortcuts to get there. In today's world, where instant gratification is the norm, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success should come quickly and effortlessly. Social media only amplifies this perception, showcasing people who seem to have everything effortlessly: the luxury, the recognition, the lifestyle. What most people fail to realize is that behind those polished images is a lifetime of hard work and sacrifices that you don't see. These individuals have spent years, often decades, refining their craft, building their businesses, or perfecting their skills. There is no such thing as an overnight success. What appears to be an easy path is often the result of years of struggle and sacrifice that are hidden from the public eye. The idea of an easy path is comforting. It promises success without the pain, but it's also a dangerous lie. It creates unrealistic expectations and discourages people from putting in the effort needed to achieve greatness. The real path to success is long, difficult, and full of obstacles. You will face setbacks, you will fail. There will be times when it seems like everything is against you and the weight of it all feels unbearable. But it's during those moments that your true character is formed. The people who make it to the top are not the ones who give up when things get tough. They are the ones who keep going no matter how hard it gets, because they understand that the road to greatness is not smooth and it's not meant to be. This is where most people give up. They see the difficulty, and instead of pushing through, they turn around and search for an easier way. They jump from one trend to another, from one opportunity to the next, looking for that shortcut to success. But success doesn't work that way. There are no easy steps to the top. Every successful person you admire has put in the work, faced the challenges, and struggled through moments of doubt. They have endured the hardships because they understood that greatness is forged through persistence. The most successful individuals are those who are willing to embrace the difficulty and keep pushing forward, even when everything seems to be falling apart. In the pursuit of greatness, patience is essential. You cannot rush the process. Building something meaningful takes time. Whether it's mastering a skill, growing a business, or building a career, it all requires a deep commitment to the journey. If you expect an easy path, you will be disappointed. The path to greatness is long and winding. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start putting in the work necessary to succeed. Success is not about finding shortcuts. It's about understanding that every step, every failure, and every setback is part of the process. There's a misconception that those who achieve greatness have some innate ability or special privilege that makes their journey easier. The reality is that everyone faces challenges regardless of their background, resources, or talent. The difference lies in how individuals approach those challenges. The ones who reach greatness are those who refuse to be deterred by obstacles. They are the ones who don't look for the easy way out. Instead, they dig deep, embrace the struggle, and push through because they know that no matter how difficult the road is, it's the only road that leads to true success. In order to understand this, you have to shift your mindset. You must stop looking for shortcuts, stop wishing for an easy path, and instead focus on embracing the process. The more you embrace the struggle, the more you will grow. The more you push through the challenges, the stronger and more resilient you will become. Greatness is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to put in the work, who are willing to endure the hardships, and who are ready to face adversity head on. If you want to be great, you must be prepared to face the hardest road of all, the one that requires effort, perseverance, and a relentless commitment to the process. Most people want the result without the work. They want the rewards, but are not willing to endure the journey that brings those rewards. But if you truly want to achieve greatness, you must stop looking for the shortcuts and understand that the only way to the top is through the grind, the sacrifice, and the commitment to put in the work day after day, year after year. It's about realizing that there are no easy paths, and that's okay, because the struggle is what makes the achievement worthwhile. Greatness is not handed to you, it is earned. And the only way to earn it is to walk the difficult path no matter how hard it gets. Commit to relentless effort even when no one is watching. This is a principle that separates those who achieve lasting success from those who only dream of it. Too often, people rely on external validation to fuel their progress. They want to be seen working hard, to be recognized for their efforts, and to receive instant feedback for the time they put in. The problem with this mindset is that success doesn't come from seeking approval. It comes from doing the work day in and day out, whether anyone notices or not. The real growth happens when you're working in silence, when you're pushing yourself, even when there's no one around to applaud you or cheer you on. Most people, especially in a world driven by social media and constant connectivity, are addicted to external validation. They seek recognition for every small step they take, craving the acknowledgement that they're on the right track. While recognition can be motivating at times, relying on it can ultimately hold you back. It leads to complacency, because once you've been seen working, you might feel that the job is done. But the truth is, it's the work that's done when no one is watching that matters the most. It's about building the habits, the discipline, and the work ethic that will carry you through the toughest moments, even when there's no immediate reward. Real success isn't about the applause you receive. It's about the satisfaction you get from knowing that you did the work when no one else could see it. It's about pushing yourself beyond what's comfortable, beyond the point where others might have quit. When you can continue working even when the world isn't watching, you build resilience. You develop a mindset that isn't dependent on external circumstances or the opinions of others. This kind of self-discipline is rare, but it's the foundation of real achievement. The people who make it to the top aren't the ones who work only when they know they'll be recognized. They're the ones who are willing to show up every day, regardless of whether anyone notices or not. When you learn to commit to relentless effort in silence, you begin to cultivate a deep sense of internal motivation. You start to do things because you know it's the right thing to do, not because you expect someone else to give you credit. This is a powerful shift in thinking because it removes the dependency on the outside world for validation. You no longer need someone to tell you that you're doing well or that you're on the right path. You know it because you're putting in the effort, and the results, even if they aren't immediately visible, will come. That's the kind of mindset that leads to sustained long-term success. A huge part of this process is learning how to embrace discomfort. The real growth happens when you're doing the work that no one is watching, especially when that work isn't glamorous. Everyone loves the idea of success, but few are willing to put in the grind it takes to achieve it. It's easy to imagine the reward, the accolades, the recognition, but success isn't won in those moments. It's earned in the long hours of preparation, practice, and persistence when no one is there to see it. The world doesn't get to see every failure, every misstep, or the countless hours you put into perfecting your craft. All they see is the final product, the success that comes from years of silent effort. Another reason relentless effort, even when no one is watching, is so important is because it builds a sense of integrity. You start to work not because you need validation, but because you're committed to excellence. You begin to hold yourself accountable, and that's a powerful thing. Integrity is about doing what you say you're going to do, even when there's no one around to check on you. It's about maintaining your standards and working toward your goals, regardless of whether anyone else is paying attention. This self-reliance is crucial because it means you're not dependent on others to push you or keep you accountable. You're driving your own success. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who are looking for a shortcut or a way to avoid hard work. They're the ones who are willing to put in the effort, no matter how tough it gets. They're the ones who can keep going day after day, even when the reward seems far off, even when it feels like no one notices. It's about being able to work without the expectation of immediate gratification. When you commit to relentless effort, you create a cycle of growth that builds momentum. Each day you work, even in silence, you get a little bit better, a little bit closer to your goals. And over time, that consistent effort leads to massive results. What sets apart those who truly succeed from those who don't is their ability to stay consistent when the excitement wears off. In the beginning, motivation is high. Everyone is enthusiastic, but the real test comes after that initial burst of energy fades. The people who make it are the ones who keep going when the motivation has died down, when they're exhausted, when they face setback after setback. They keep working not because they need to be recognized, because they're committed to their own success. This is the kind of relentless effort that turns dreams into reality, one silent action at a time. When you make this commitment to relentless effort, you build more than just skills. You build character. You develop a work ethic that's unshakable. And that is the foundation of any great achievement. So the next time you find yourself looking for external validation or waiting for someone to notice your hard work, remind yourself that the real progress happens when no one is watching. Success comes to those who outwork everyone else. It's not about talent, luck, or who you know. It's about who's willing to put in the most effort, the most time, and the most commitment. Everyone has the potential to succeed, but only those who are willing to make the sacrifices and go the extra mile will achieve greatness. Talent can only take you so far, but effort is what carries you to the finish line. The truth is simple. If you outwork everyone else, you will win. Doesn't matter what field you're in, how much competition you face, or how hard the road may seem. The person who puts in the most work will always rise above the rest. People often overestimate the role of talent in achieving success. We've all heard stories of people who are naturally gifted, who seem to breeze through challenges without breaking a sweat. But here's the thing. Talent alone is never enough. It's effort that transforms potential into results. Without hard work, talent is wasted. Look at any successful person and you'll see one common trait. They didn't rely on talent alone. They worked harder than anyone else. They didn't take shortcuts. They didn't rest on their laurels. They understood that the key to success lies in how much you're willing to give, how much effort you're willing to put forth, and how relentless you can be in your pursuit of excellence. In your pursuit of excellence. What separates those who achieve greatness from those who don't is their willingness to outwork everyone else. Most people, when faced with challenges, will slow down, look for a way to make things easier, or take a break. The successful, however, don't rest. They push through when others would quit. They work longer hours, put in more effort, and sacrifice more because they understand that success is not just handed to you. It's earned, and the only way to earn it is through hard work. The ability to push yourself past the point where others have given up is a skill that only the truly successful have mastered. They know that if they can keep going when others stop, they will ultimately come out on top. It's easy to get distracted by the idea of quick fixes or the desire for an easier path. Everyone is looking for the next big thing, the shortcut that will get them ahead. But this approach never works in the long run. If you're always chasing the easiest path, you'll never develop the resilience, discipline, and perseverance needed to achieve real success. True success comes to those who are willing to do the hard things, the things that others are too afraid to do. Those who outwork everyone else are the ones who find success because they're not waiting for an opportunity to appear. They're creating opportunities through their relentless effort. The simple fact is that when you outwork everyone else, you create a competitive advantage that cannot be taken away. No one can ever replicate your work ethic. They can copy your ideas, try to mimic your methods, but they can never outwork you if you're constantly pushing yourself further. This is the power of consistent effort. It's not about doing something extraordinary every once in a while. It's about showing up every single day and doing the work that no one else is willing to do. It's about making sure that no matter what, you're always giving more than anyone else. In many ways, hard work becomes its own form of leverage. The more effort you put in, the more you separate yourself from the pack. While others take a break, while others look for an easier way, you're grinding, you're improving. And with every step you take, you get closer to your goals, while others remain stagnant. There's a great deal of power in the idea that the more you put in, the more you get out. The more effort you put in today, the more you'll reap tomorrow. This is why the truly successful are not afraid of hard work. They know that every ounce of effort they invest now will pay off in the future. Outworking everyone else doesn't just mean putting in longer hours. It means being relentless in your pursuit of excellence. It means always looking for ways to improve, always seeking to learn, and always pushing yourself to be better than you were yesterday. It's about understanding that no matter how good you are today, there's always room for growth, always a way to improve. The people who succeed are the ones who are never satisfied with their current level of performance. They are constantly pushing themselves to become better, more efficient, and more effective at what they do. This drive, this hunger for improvement is what sets them apart from the rest. You'll often hear that success is about working smarter, not harder. While this is true in some cases, it's not the whole picture. Success is about working hard and working smart. The most successful people are not only putting in the hours, but they're also refining their approach, learning from their mistakes, and finding better ways to do things. They understand that working smarter will make their hard work more effective, but without hard work, the smart strategies won't get them anywhere. It's the combination of both that leads to the greatest success. If you want to win, you have to be willing to outwork everyone else. No excuses, no shortcuts, just relentless effort day after day until you've achieved what you set out to do. The road to success is not easy, and it's not meant to be. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But the ones who truly succeed are the ones who outwork everyone else. They put in the time, effort, and sacrifice when others are looking for an easier way. They understand that hard work is the one thing that will always give them an edge. Talent will fade, luck will run out, but if you outwork everyone else, you'll always find a way to succeed. Success doesn't come to those who wait for opportunities. It comes to those who create them through hard work. Too many people sit back and hope that something will happen, that an opportunity will fall into their lap, or that the perfect moment will arrive. The reality is that waiting for opportunities is a passive approach to success, and passive people don't achieve greatness. The people who truly succeed are the ones who are proactive, who take control of their future, and who don't wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They know that every great opportunity they've had, every moment of success they've experienced, was created by their own effort, their own hustle, and their own willingness to step outside their comfort zone. Waiting for an opportunity to come knocking is a mindset that keeps you stagnant. Opportunities don't just appear out of thin air. They're not just handed to you because you feel like you deserve them. They come from the work you put in, the relationships you build, and the risks you take. When you're sitting around waiting for something to happen, you're not actively moving forward. You're not actively building your future. Success requires action, and action requires the willingness to go out and create opportunities, even when it feels like none are available. When you stop waiting and start creating, that's where real progress begins. The key to creating opportunities is recognizing that everything is within your control. Too many people wait for the perfect job, the right circumstances, or the ideal situation before they take action. But that's not how success works. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for the world to hand them what they wanted. They worked for it. They went out and created their own opportunities, and they did so by consistently putting in the effort, learning from failures, and refusing to let fear or doubt hold them back. The opportunities didn't appear by chance. They were built from the ground up through hard work, persistence, and determination. Creating opportunities isn't just about finding the right moment. It's about being ready when the moment presents itself. You don't wait for an opportunity to knock on your door. You make sure you're prepared for it when it comes. And to be prepared, you need to put in the work. The more effort you put into honing your skills, building your network, and pushing your boundaries, the more opportunities will start to present themselves. Opportunities aren't always obvious at first. Sometimes they come disguised as challenges or setbacks. But when you've created a mindset of action, when you've made a habit of putting in the work, you'll start to see opportunities everywhere. You'll learn to recognize the potential in every situation, and you'll have the confidence and ability to take action when the time comes. Waiting for the perfect opportunity is a trap. Perfection doesn't exist. And if you're waiting for everything to line up perfectly before you take action, you'll be waiting forever. The people who succeed aren't the ones who wait for the stars to align. They're the ones who start before they feel ready, who take risks, and who push through the uncertainty. The world doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. If you want to create opportunities, you have to stop making excuses and start acting, even when things aren't perfect. Even when the odds are stacked against you, because success is rarely a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, of moments of doubt and uncertainty, and it's those who keep moving forward that ultimately find the most success. One of the most important aspects of creating opportunities is understanding that failure is a part of the process. When you take action, you don't always get the result you want. In fact, you'll fail more times than you'll succeed, but every failure is a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to your goal. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who learn from it and use it as fuel to keep going. Failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's a sign that you're trying, that you're taking risks, and that you're moving forward. The more you fail, the closer you get to success, because each failure brings you one step closer to the right opportunity. Creating opportunities also requires you to take ownership of your journey. It's easy to look around and blame external factors, your circumstances, your environment, or the people around you. But the truth is that you are the only one responsible for your success. Waiting for someone to give you an opportunity is a passive approach. Taking ownership means understanding that your actions, your work ethic, and your mindset are what create the opportunities that will lead to your success. You can't wait for someone else to make things happen for you. If you want to succeed, you have to take matters into your own hands, work tirelessly, and create your own path. The people who create their own opportunities are the ones who thrive. They don't wait for the stars to align. They make their own stars. They understand that success is not about waiting for the right moment, but about making every moment count. By taking consistent action, learning from their mistakes, and pushing through the obstacles, they create a future full of opportunities. And that future is built on hard work, persistence, and a refusal to sit back and wait for things to happen. When you take control of your life and start creating opportunities, instead of waiting for them, you'll see the world begin to open up in ways you never thought possible. The path to success is full of distractions, temptations, and obstacles designed to pull you off course. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of what truly matters. Everyone has goals, but not everyone has the focus necessary to achieve them. Focus is the one trait that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. While others are getting distracted, losing motivation, and jumping from one thing to the next, the focused individual remains steadfast, committed to their vision. It's the ability to block out the distractions and stay zeroed in on your goal that will ultimately determine your success. The most successful people are those who are able to stay focused when everything around them is trying to pull them in different directions. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of things that demand your attention. social media, phone notifications, the news, the people around you. All these things constantly try to grab your focus. They make it difficult to concentrate on what's truly important. The world is full of distractions that are designed to steal your time and energy, to derail your progress and keep you from your goals. But the key to success lies in learning how to manage these distractions. Successful individuals understand that they cannot afford to let external influences dictate their focus. They make intentional decisions about where they direct their attention, and they do it with discipline. One of the most powerful things you can do to improve your focus is eliminate unnecessary distractions. This means being mindful of what you allow into your life. If certain activities, people, or environments are pulling you away from your goals, you need to distance yourself from them. It's not about cutting everything out, but rather about prioritizing what matters most. Every time you allow yourself to be pulled into something that doesn't contribute to your success, you lose valuable time and energy that could be used toward your goal. The successful person recognizes that their time is limited and they make conscious decisions to protect it. They understand that every minute spent on something irrelevant is a minute they'll never get back. And they refuse to let distractions waste their potential. Focus also requires a high level of self-discipline. It's about committing to your goals and making sure that nothing comes between you and your work. Self-discipline means saying no when you need to, setting boundaries, and holding yourself accountable for your actions. It's about resisting the temptation to indulge in short-term pleasures that don't align with your long-term vision. In a world where instant gratification is so easy to come by, practicing self-discipline is harder than ever. But it's also the most important thing you can do if you want to achieve success. The more you practice self-discipline, the easier it becomes to maintain your focus and the more you can accomplish in less time. At the same time, staying focused isn't just about avoiding distractions. It's about being fully engaged in what you're doing, regardless of how difficult or uninteresting it may seem at the moment. Focus requires immersing yourself completely in the task at hand. Whether you're working on a project, learning a new skill, or building a business, your full attention must be on the work, not on external factors or what's happening around you. People who are truly focused are not easily swayed by outside forces. They understand that the only way to make progress is to give their undivided attention to the present moment. In a world where multitasking has become the norm, the ability to focus on one thing at a time is a superpower that sets successful people apart. Moreover, focus requires the ability to say no to the things that don't serve your purpose. This can be one of the most difficult aspects of maintaining focus. There are many things in life that will try to take you off track. Friends, family, entertainment, or even work obligations can all pull you in different directions. But successful people know that in order to achieve their goals, they must learn to prioritize. They must be able to recognize what is important and be willing to decline things that might feel good in the moment, but ultimately distract them from their long-term objectives. The power of focus lies in your ability to stay committed to your vision and to turn down anything that doesn't align with your goals. In addition to this, maintaining focus requires consistency. It's not enough to stay focused for a few days or even a few weeks. The true test of focus is how long you can maintain it. Consistency means showing up every day, putting in the effort, and staying on course even when things get tough or when the initial excitement fades. People often start with enthusiasm but lose their way when challenges arise. Focus is about enduring through those challenges and maintaining your direction despite the obstacles. It's about making the decision day in and day out to keep your attention fixed on the prize, no matter how many distractions come your way. When you cultivate focus, you begin to build momentum. The more consistently you put in the work, the more progress you make, and the more confident you become in your ability to achieve your goals. Focus breeds efficiency. When you concentrate on one task at a time, you do it faster and with higher quality than when you spread your attention across multiple things. The less distracted you are, the more you can accomplish. And the more you accomplish, the more motivated you become to keep going. Focus creates a cycle of progress that propels you forward. With each step you take, you move closer to your goals, and your ability to focus only strengthens. In conclusion, the people who succeed are the ones who learn to control their focus. They are the ones who refuse to let the world around them dictate their priorities. They understand that their success is not determined by luck or circumstances, but by their ability to stay focused on what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, the ability to focus is the key to unlocking your potential. The more you master the art of focus, the more you will accomplish, and the closer you will come to realizing your dreams.